I need to say this openly because I'm sure some of your viewers will know that when this proposal came out, I was opposed of setting aside 2% of the top of our limited property tax to purchase property, and very clearly written that that money cannot be used for any purpose except purchase, not for maintenance, not for anything, you know. And I made 2 points. Number one is to set aside 2% of the top of your property tax is a very, very high amount. There is nothing else in the whole county government as far as revenues and expenditures that we set aside off the top. Not even police, not fire, anything. And the recommendation was if this is going to be pursued, it should not be as high as 2%. And I'm going to pursue that again, you know, in regards to for the public to consider 1%.
Like a budget item.
Oh yeah, and I said, you know, I'm not against the purchase of property. If you look at my years in county government, you know, if you identify lands as very special, and you should, then it is up to us to pursue the money for it, whether it be through bonds, whether it be council action or federal funds, et cetera, et cetera. And we've purchased a lot of property that way. But to set us off the top, I said the negatives outweigh the positive in my eyes. But if we're going to set aside, 2% is a lot. That's more than anybody else I know. Yeah. And God knows we're not the richest place. In regards to system, I did say, I know my responsibilities. If the public votes for this, then I will absolutely follow their desire. And when the plan comes to us, I will make sure that the system that I adopt is free of politics, and which we did. So when that recommendation comes in, I send it forward to the council untouched. And I look at it to see what they put as priority. I have my personals, obviously, and I spec it out. And that's where it's at. Well, I want the stewardship, but I wanted the stewardship to come out of the 2%.
Okay.
And not add another percent to say, take care of the lands we force, you know, taxpayers' money to be used to buy. My responsibility, as you know, is the whole county expenditure. And I've said this to Waimea not too long ago when they asked priority. I said, I realize that Hawaii Island has the greatest per capita people having a hard time. Call them at risk, homeless, whatever you want, per capita, the hardest. And a lot of that, the highest in the island state, is of families. You know, and I said, you know, our job is to make sure we don't add additional expenses to this huge amount of people that are struggling day to day, having one job or two jobs, and as statistics show, they don't have enough reserve for any kind of emergency. I just heard it this morning on the news. How many of them will be able to meet expenses in regards to whether it be emergency room or automobile expenses? It's a frightening lifestyle we're dealt with. And I will do everything we have done, you know, things we push for the free bus, if you remember, you know, water gathering area that we call Waipuna, so they can get clean water free, and you know, anything not to add costs. Yeah. And the free bus rides, I give the example that if I improve the situation where they can get free, some of them will save them $400 to $700 a month in gases. What did I do? I gave them a raise, right? They don't have to spend their money on gas and can ride the bus. Property tax is one of them. This is why the whole issue of, I said in Waimea, they asked me, what is your highest priority? I said, there's a lot of priorities. But one of them is to ensure that we don't raise taxes. Yeah. Because who am I taking it from? A 50% who can't even meet their daily expense.